All right, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to hold this. I don't have anywhere to really prop it up right now, but I wanted to do it right now. I was listening to Autumn Miles, and she was doing a live, and she went in a totally different direction with this than I'm going to go. But October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I have been talking with one of my mentors. It's come up a couple different times about trauma bonds and generational bonds or curses. And so many times people that haven't been through abuse, violence, trauma, childhood trauma, adult trauma, just can't wrap their minds around a trauma bond, which is, it is a physical, a chemical attachment that happens in your brain, in your neurology, in your chemistry, and it is extremely difficult to break, to truly get away from, to heal the injuries that have happened to your brain. And I was just thinking, Dr. Caroline Leaf, she's fantastic, and she talks a lot about the brain and the mind and neurology, and I forget what she's called. It's a long title. She does a great job of explaining those things in a scientific manner. Back to the beginning. So Autumn Miles, and she was talking about when the Israelites finally left Egypt, and they were enslaved for generations, and every time, so many times when they thought they were going to be released, they were going to get away, they were going to be free, so many things happened, and they didn't get their freedom. And finally, and I'm going to read this, so finally, this is in Exodus, the story of Moses leading the Israelites out is in the Old Testament in the chapter of Exodus. So Exodus 13:17. When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country, though that was shorter. And the translation that she was reading said, though that was near, though that was shorter. Though it might have been the quickest, maybe the easiest, but why? And that's the only part I'm going to read, but why? And he goes on to say, that because they might turn around and go back. They might turn around and go back. What? Why in the world? Here's all the questions. Trauma bonds, people that have been in abusive relationships. Why in the world? Why didn't you just leave? Why did you go back? Why did you go back so many times? And I read recently that people trying to leave abusive relationships, it takes an average of 8 attempts to leave. And I know it took me way more than that. I'm so sorry. I know I'm shaking all over the place with this phone because I can't be still. So why didn't he take him on the quickest and easiest? Well, that's what they knew. They knew what they knew. And it's easy to go back to what you know. It's easy to go back to what is not safe, but feels safe because it's what you know. So these trauma bonds, just like with the Israelites, God couldn't take them or wouldn't take them on the shortest and easiest path because they might just zip right around when things got uncomfortable, when it talks about war, when warring started, and just run back to what they already knew. Because leaving was going to be difficult. Leaving was going to be a journey. Leaving was going to be full of 100% every single day, every single night change. For the Israelites, leaving slavery and trying to get to freedom. For people in abusive relationships, trying to leave, trying to get out and get to freedom. It is they're already beaten down. They're already exhausted. They've already been through so much. And then there's more. Wait, there's more? You're telling me I'm going to be more exhausted? There's going to be more trials? It's going to get tough again? It's going to get even tougher for a minute? So God loving his children, knowing them, and if they were truly going to get to freedom, get to the promised land, get to a new and healthy and thriving life, that He couldn't take them the nearest, the shortest, the closest, the quickest way. It wasn't the best way. So leaving a trauma bond, leaving an abusive situation is a long road. It is a long journey, and it's not easy. But you know what? It took the Israelites a long time, but they got it done, and they made it there. So when you are thinking about someone you may know and love that is in the midst of an abusive relationship, someone that is probably, more than likely, you may think they are trauma bonded to someone, think about that. Think about that story. Think about generations of we know what we know. Think about not being able to always take the quickest and shortest route to getting well, to getting healthy, to getting free. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And be patient if you know someone. Just be patient, be kind, be there. And it's okay to say you don't understand. Try not to say, why don't you just get up and leave? Why haven't you left? Why do you keep letting that person come back? Why do you let them do this to you? Why? Don't do those things if you can help it. Just listen, give them a hug, let them know you still love them no matter what. And just be there. It takes a long time. Generational bonds, generational curses, trauma bonds take a long time. They're tough. It is an actual physical, chemical thing that you've got to overcome and work through and rebuild and rewire your brain, rewire your knowledge, rewire emotions, feelings, normal, rewire what normal is. So hopefully that helps people understand a little bit, maybe why it took the Israelites so long, why God didn't let them just go the quickest and shortest way. We ask God that a lot, don't we? You know, why couldn't this be easier? Why couldn't this have happened a long time ago? Why? Dear Father, just why? Dad. So maybe it helps some understanding with that. I know it certainly hit me. When I heard the verse today, it totally went in a different direction, but that's where it went for me. I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to talk about this particular story with the Israelites and trauma bonds. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope somebody got an amen, sister, and I'll talk to you soon.